Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Modern Customer Podcast. I'm your host, Blake Morgan. Today, my guest is Mark Williams, the head of customer care for Samsung Electronics America. Samsung was recently ranked number one in multiple categories by ACSI for the second year and has achieved new levels of customer care success by prioritizing technician education and upskilling. Samsung has about 10,000 care, field, and service employees in the US. Today, we are talking about the landscape of Samsung's customer experience offering. We're talking about how they're using AI, and we're talking about the secret of a customer-centric culture and how to differentiate on experience during these times when many companies are cutting their customer experience programs. Please enjoy Mark Williams. Mark, welcome to the Modern Customer Podcast. It's so nice to see you here today. Thank you.
Thank you, Blake. Thanks for having me.
So good to meet you. Where are you calling in from today?
I'm actually in Tucson, Arizona right now. This is where I live. I work out of New Jersey, but I'm here for this week.
That's amazing. So you are a road warrior, used to flying a lot.
I am. Unfortunately, I fly a lot. Matter of fact, my next vacation, I want to drive somewhere and not fly for sure.
That's great. Well, love that. You can get an RV to do that. But hey, let's just get to know you a little bit. I mean, you are the perfect person for this show because you have such a service background. Let's just talk about how you landed in service and what you like about it.
Sure. Well, thank you for saying that, first of all. How I landed in service, I never planned on being in service, but I ended up kind of falling into service and I found out it was the right thing for me. But I've been I've had a few really long careers. Before joining Samsung, I was at Motorola for about 14 years, and I did every role except service there. And then I came to Samsung and did a little bit of a product management role, and then joined service. So it's kind of cool in the sense that all the roles I did in the past were not directly related to service, but it gave me a good overview of the overall business and helped me to look at things in a different way so that now when I joined service, I said, this is the right thing for me. And glad I've ended up here.
So it's been kind of a weird year. Um, a report in the Wall Street Journal in June said that customer service levels are down, that actually they're quite low as far as satisfaction, but you guys are doing really well. I know you were recently ranked number one in multiple categories by ACSI. What do you have any thoughts about what's happening in service across America right now?
I mean, so I know what we're doing. I can take a guess on what's happening everywhere else, but I mean, what we're doing, it's important for us to focus on customer experience. Um, I think if I take a step back and just look at how we evolved, um, when I joined, we were actually called customer service. And maybe about 9 years ago or so, we changed our name to customer care.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, what it says on my shirt. And we kind of did that for a reason. And if you look back at it, it really made a lot of sense because we still do service. Like service used to be break, fix, and fix everything that's broken, especially for us at Samsung, since we have so many different products across so many different categories. But we really wanted to take it from not just doing that and taking care of our customers' problems, but providing an awesome experience along the way.
Mm-hmm.
So for Samsung, we focus on that, and there's a multiple ways we do that. That could be, so number one, it's providing service in all these locations. One of the things that's really important for us is our network coverage. So again, I talk about all our products. We have a big array of mobile products, and then we have a lot of other products that we call consumer electronics or CE products, and those can be anywhere from TVs to digital appliances, washing machines, refrigerators, dishwashers, etc. And our network coverage is really important because I'm responsible for customer care in the United States. The US is a huge place, as you know, and trying to get to all those customers throughout the entire US is not an easy thing to do. But our network coverage has enabled us to do that. On the mobile side, we measure network coverage by the percentage of the U.S. population that can get their device repaired in the same day, so same day repair. Our
Mm-hmm.
current coverage is about 81% of the U.S. Is within a 30-minute drive of one of our same day service locations. For the
Mm-hmm.
people that aren't, they can still get service by mailing it to us. So they can still get it. We cover 100%. On the CE side, TVs and digital appliance, we cover 99% of the US. And we do that through our servicers, which are scattered throughout the US, and then a unique program that we launched called SBB, or Samsung Beyond Boundaries, which allows us to drive to these remote locations and service customers who never would get serviced in the past.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
So
that's so important.
yeah. So back to your original question, I kind of went on a little bit of a tangent there, and I'm sorry about that. But so we're focusing on really providing a lot of choices for our customers and taking care of coverage. Other things in addition to coverage, as far as choice, we really want to give customers options for taking care of their devices. Like on the mobile side, I mentioned we have same day coverage where you can walk into our location. So if you have a phone, for example, that you need service on or repair on, you can go to one of our locations. And we have partners with U-Break iFix and Batteries Plus. Um, and then we have our own locations throughout the US. But the other thing we have is we have a service called We Come to You, where we have van service, and we can actually, if you're within range, we can actually drive um, and meet you at your location of your choice. So we could come to your house, we could come to your work, we could meet you at a coffee shop, your choice. Um, and then on the CE side, well, that it's really hard to carry in a refrigerator or a dishwasher. Those are a little too big. So we do have to come to your house to repair those. And like I said, we have 99% coverage. When you first contact us, we have multiple ways that you can contact us. You can do the traditional voice call. You can get self-service by going to our web pages. We have a YouTube channel set dedicated for Samsung service. Or you can do different asynchronous ways to contact us, including texting us. And
Mm-hmm.
something that's kind of cool is the phone number to contact us is 1-800-Samsung. So you can call that number or you can text that number. So it's kind of cool that it's not hard for the customer to know that. You can just call us or text us at that number. And a lot of people are liking the text option because they can ask questions and respond on their time. So they can ask a
Yeah.
question, we can respond, and then they can, go do something, go do a chore, and then come back and answer and continue the conversation when it's convenient to them.
Absolutely. So it really seems like you are embracing the customer centric culture that many businesses wish they had. What do you think the tenets of a customer centric culture are?
Yeah. Good question. Thank you. I mean, I think it starts with, I mentioned choice, but then if you look into who are the people that are the customer face, who are dealing directly with the customers. And I think it's important that those people understand and really have a passion for providing not just a service, but providing an awesome experience while they're taking care of the service. So I think culture is really important. And one thing that's important to us, and one thing that we talk about within our team is when you're taking care of a customer, like if you think about some of the important people in your life and how if your mom or your grandmother or your husband or your daughter, whoever, if they had a problem, how would you want them to be treated in solving that problem? So it's not just solving this problem, but it's like treating them with respect and being kind and just providing this great experience with along the way. So I think that's really important for us is to have this culture where people believe in that and they want to take care of their customers that way.
So many companies today are struggling with attrition with contact center agents. Are you very involved with the contact center agent retention strategy? Is the contact center in-house, or could you just talk about your employee experience strategy with that?
Yes. So customer contact centers are, we use a lot of partners for that. And the key thing there, there's multiple things that drive, that make people want to stay. Certainly pay is one, but, it's also providing, um, the opportunity to take care of products and to have a environment where they like working and they have the right tools to take care of customers. um, so one of the things that's important to us is I don't want just agents who are just agents. I want agents who are fans of Samsung. Like they
Mhm.
love our products as much as we love them. So they're not just agents, they're Samsung ambassadors. So one of the things that we like to do that helps with retention is to give them access to, or actually give them some of our products to use and become ambassadors if they're not already. I think
Mhm.
that definitely helps with that. And then being flexible, like, when it makes sense, when they show that it doesn't negatively affect our customers' experience, it doesn't matter where they work. They can work in a call center, they can work remote, whatever it takes to, whatever is better for them, so they can not only be happy with their personal life and their family life, but they can take care of their customers. Because if everything is good, everything is in sync with their personal life and their family life, that makes them more able to take care of our customers.
Yeah, I mean, you say it very nonchalantly, but actually enabling contact center agents to work remotely is like a huge thing. It's a whole industry now. Um, so I,
Hmm.
I do want to talk more about that, but I really want to ask you also about, since you're a tech company, AI and how you're incorporating AI into the service side and the agent side as well.
So a couple ways that we're doing it right now, as I'm sure it's going to grow. So the obvious way, on the contact center, so we use AI to actively listen to calls. And what it does is it recognizes what a customer is talking about, and it helps push contents to our agents so that they can, respond to them quickly. So they get the relevant information to them, right up on their screen, so they can solve the problem quickly. Another thing, and this is kind of cool, and I mentioned how we use, SMS and how some of our customers like to use SMS. Uh, so one of the things we're using AI for is with Spanish translation.
Hmm.
So a customer can text us in Spanish. It comes in, AI will translate that to English and put it in front of our agent. Our agent will respond back in English, and then it translates it to Spanish and gets it back out. That's just a kind of a cool application that we're using.
That's great.
And I'm sure it's going to evolve. There's going to be many other cool things to do with it.
And on the employee experience side, have you tested any kind of like co-pilot or any internal AI stuff?
Not yet, not yet. We've been discussing different options to do to try things out and find ways to use AI to enhance the overall customer experience and enhance our employees' ability to connect with people and take care of problems.
So I'll interview you again in 6 months, and you'll have a whole different story for me. Um, hey, let's
That
talk.
sounds good.
Yeah, Mark, let's talk about metrics. I mean, every contact center conversation and customer service, of course, metrics is always interesting for people to hear about. For our audience, can you just talk about the contact center metrics that you think are the best and which are the worst?
Sure. So it's interesting that we're talking a lot about contact center, because that's a small portion of the overall customer experience and the overall customer care offering for Samsung. Because so we do so much more than just contact center, but I'll go back to contact center. So we look at repair, we look at how we interact with people face to face when we're in their house, when we're in one of our repair locations, and then also how they interact with us through our web pages. But through contact center, the KPIs that we look at call handling time, average handling time. We look at our NPS. NPS is very important. We want to know how that experience is. And then not just with NPS and not just the NPS score, but I think it's important to look at the comments. And I love reading the customer verbatims. Like,
Hmm.
what did they like about the experience? What didn't they like? Because that's how you truly find out what you're doing good and how you expand on that, and then find out where you have issues and what things you need to fix or what things you need to enhance. Um, just a little bit about Samsung is, Samsung, part of our DNA. I say this to people, and it sounds weird and maybe a little corny, but part of our DNA is continuous improvement. So there's two things we like really focus on at Samsung. When we make a decision, we want to do it fast. We believe in getting it done quickly. And the second thing is continuous improvement. So we're always looking at ways to improve. And looking at comments from customers is a great way to do that, especially when you see the ugly stuff. You see some of the issues, some of that our customers had maybe with the customer journey or issues they had. It's a curse, but it's also a blessing because it gives us a chance to identify areas to improve. And we're always
Mm-hmm.
looking for ways to do that.
All right. So fair enough. You said, Mark, that contact center is a tiny piece of the overall strategy. Tell us about the whole pie. What's the bigger piece that I'm missing?
The bigger piece is when we actually do repair. And I talked a little bit about Samsung being about, and I want to share something that's kind of just what that is and what it was before, and then some kind of a cool example from that. So Samsung Beyond Boundaries, as I mentioned, we had an issue where we wanted to have number one coverage in the US, but it's tough to get coverage in the middle of Montana, right? So you've got the issue is you've got uh, people that are spread out. They live in all these vast places and they're not close to each other. So the volume of repair work that's needed isn't enough to justify actually having a service center.
Mm-hmm.
But we had to figure out ways, how are we going to take care of these guys? So we came up with this program called Samsung Beyond Boundaries, where we have our service centers that's maybe 4 hours away, but we actually have a program where they'll actually drive 4 hours and take care of our customers.
Mm-hmm.
And the first cut at that, when you first look at that, you're like, that's not possible. How are you going to do that? How is that um, economically possible? But we were able to find a way to do that by looking at what we avoid. We avoid doing an exchange or a refund. And we look at we're not just looking at return on investment, but we're looking at return on experience. So we're providing this awesome experience for someone that would, in the past, they'd have to just exchange it or get a refund. And now we're actually going to their house and repairing it, and they love it because
Mm-hmm.
they're finally getting taken care of. But something cool with this is I'll just give you one example and the people we choose for this. So we choose our best techs for this program. We choose people that like want to take care of the customers. They do a great job. They have all these great technical skills, but besides that, they're just great
Mm-hmm.
people persons.
Right.
So, one example of that is we have a tech named Rohan, and he's based out of Pennsylvania, and he covers a lot of Pennsylvania. He also covers Upper New York State, and he drives an electric car. So we're worried about the environment too. We're focused on that. So he's got all these long drives, but he's got an electric car, and um, there's one place where he always stops to charge his car, and right across the street from it is an ice cream shop. So he loves ice cream, and he takes his time when he charges his car to go across the street to the ice cream shop. It's called Frosty's. And one of the times he was charging his car, he went in to get a malt, and sorry, a shake. Went in to get a shake, and they saw his shirt, Samsung Care, and said, "What is that? Explain what you do." And they saw his van. His van all has a Samsung Care on it, and he explained what he did. And the owner he was talking to said, "Hey, one of our employees, their grandmother is having a problem with their fridge. Should you talk to them?" So he went and talked to them, and they connected them with their grandmother. And he called her and found out that the fridge wasn't working. Sorry, the fridge was working, but one of the features wasn't. The ice maker was having issues. So what he did is he took the time to step her through how he set up a repair ticket, who to call, how you set it up. And it's actually something that we were taking care of. So we showed that we were going to take care of that issue, at no cost to her. She set up the ticket, and then he went on his way. And I think about 3 days later, he was in the area on a repair call, and he went to this house and started fixing the refrigerator and realized it was the grandmother that he had talked to. So, it turned out to be a really cool story. He ended up coming back there and, taking care of her issues. She was very happy. She had no clue what she was going to do on how to get the ice maker solved, and she got it solved. And he's now a regular visitor at Frosty's ice cream shop.
Mm-hmm. That's cute. I like
But
that.
the cool thing about that, and the great thing about that is that's the type of person we want. We want someone that's not just, you know, not just say, oh, call Samsung. He's like showed them how to contact them, what to contact them, and kind of step them through the process and doing going above and beyond to take care of our customers. And that's really the type of people we want in our org.
I mean, what I'm hearing are a few things, Mark. I'm hearing you give your employees time to go eat ice cream. You know they like ice cream. You're giving him obviously budget and time and room in his day to help a grandma. It's and so these things all are on like a spreadsheet or a dotted line. And I think for companies that's the problem is they're just tracking everything so much that the old school world of going to get an ice cream and you hear someone's in trouble and you like go get the kitten out of the tree, is just there's a lost art to it. So that's why I'm asking you, like you talk about return on experience. I think it's just so hard for businesses to track this that they don't let their employees go get ice cream and help the grandma.
Yeah, I mean, and I think you hit it on the head, right? When you talked about why do you think this service is maybe down? It's like we're in the economy isn't great right now, and maybe everybody's looking at costs first. But I think that's the wrong way to look at it. I mean, so I'm going to go back to Samsung again. And if you look at all the products we have so many products, right?
Yeah.
So, and if there's power and danger uh, a customer experience. So the danger is you create such a bad experience that people say, I'm never going to buy a Samsung product again. That's horrible. But the power is you have a great experience on a refrigerator, for example. And it's such a great experience that someone says, you know what? Every product I buy going forward is going to be Samsung. So it doesn't matter if it's a refrigerator or a washing machine or a TV or a cell phone. I'm only going to buy Samsung because I know Samsung's going to take care of it. So that's a way of looking at it. And you can look at, when you do, if you need someone to look at ROI, a way to look at it is customer lifetime value. So you can look at what is the lifetime value of a customer if they purchase our products for the rest of their lives. And I think that's a way to look at it. But again, I think about what's the best experience you can provide. If you take care of a customer, good things are going to happen. They're going to come back.
I think what you're saying is true, Mark, but it's really hard for business leaders to forget that they're not making as much money as they normally do. And a lot of them do look to customer service and experience as the first thing that gets cut. Does it take a certain type of leadership to stand up and say, okay, we're not going to cut experience, even though we're in uncertain economic times?
I think it does. Um, I think there's a couple things that are important. One, you have, like I said before, you have to have someone who's customer focused as a leader, but then you also have to have someone that like thinks more long term instead of short term. Thinking about cost that's a short term look at it. Long term is thinking about customer experience and building lifetime customers. And I
Mm-hmm.
think you have to have passion for that to be able to share that with your leadership and get them on the same page. Because no one's just going to buy that right away. You have to get them on the same page and you have to get them to understand it and turn them into customer advocates too.
Is that something you track what you call lifetime customers?
We have we have used of that customer lifetime value, and we can use that in ROIs. So we've used that in ROIs before if we have to provide an ROI.
Yeah, I think that it's so hard for business leaders like yourself right now because they're under so much pressure from the higher ups to show ROI. And it's such a tough game. I think that's why so many customer centric companies, often the founders are still involved, or they just have this like freak special culture that has been protected through the right leadership decisions and customer centric leadership. Is there something unique about customer centric leadership, a tip that you have for our listeners that might be facing a company where maybe they don't have as much support?
Again, think long term, don't think short term, right? I want these customers around for for a long time. I don't want them here just for this one product. It's more than this product. It's this product and the next product and the next product. And um, get people like get people to put themselves in the shoes of their customers.
Mm-hmm.
So like how would you want to be treated if you had a problem? Or even better than that, how would you, the most important person in your life, how would you want them treated if they had a problem?
Right.
So change your mindset, and think about your customers as if it was the most important person in your life.
Right. Absolutely. All right. Well, love that. I think that's a good note to wrap on, but let's get to know you a little bit and do some rapid fire. Does that sound good?
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Sounds good. First question of rapid fire. What's the most important part of your morning routine?
Um, I work out, so I either run or do weights or do something aerobic. I like the aerobic stuff. I like to sweat in the morning. If I don't, I feel like I'm off for the rest of the day. So I got to
Right.
do that. I got to do something, exercise in the morning.
What show are you currently streaming?
Um, there's a couple, but I really love Alone. Have you seen that one?
What is
Alone
it?
on Netflix.
Alone? No.
Alone. It's a
Mm-mm.
reality where they drop these people off in this remote areas like northern Canada or Alaska, and they basically have to they gotta catch their own food and cook their own food and build shelters and live in these harsh conditions. And I mean, I like to think that I could do it. I know I couldn't, but it sure looks cool.
Okay, great. Love that. What's your favorite type of vacation?
Um, okay, I have two answers to that. So one, if it's like just me with the guys, I like to go somewhere remote fishing.
Hmm.
If it's me with my wife, uh, I love going hiking. We love going hiking in the mountains. Um, getting away from cities and being in nature somewhere. That's
Hmm.
the best for me.
Perfect. And if you could have lunch with anyone dead or alive, who would it be?
Um, can I give you two? I'll give you
Hmm.
a dead and alive.
Hmm.
Dead, Vince Lombardi. I am a cheesehead. I'm from Wisconsin. I'm a big Green Bay Packer fan, and I would love to sit down with Vince Lombardi. Awesome leader, great coach. They named the Super Bowl trophy after him. So Vince Lombardi. And then alive, Elon Musk. Man, I'd love to just hear his thought process on how he came up with all these crazy ideas. And I have a Tesla and I love it too. Awesome. Love to talk to him about that.
Love it. And if you had to describe your outlook in one quick motto, what would it be?
Treat people the way you'd want the most important person in your life treated. I keep coming back
Oh,
to that, but I think that's the way it should be for everything.
I love it.
I,
Simple
I don't think the world, if, yeah, simple, right?
but profound. Well, Mark, this has been really fun. Thank you for doing this. I mean, I guess if people want to buy Samsung products, they probably know how to do that. But any closing thoughts that you want to share with our audience?
I mean, Samsung makes a lot of incredible products. So check them out, give them a try. Um, can I share one more cool thing?
Yeah.
One more technology kind of thing. So we do something um, called proactive care. So a lot of our products have Samsung SmartThings incorporated into it. So for example, our refrigerators, digital
Yeah.
appliances, and one of the cool things that we do, assuming the customer opts in, is we can monitor the health of your product, and we can actually proactively take care of issues. So for example, your refrigerator over time, the temperature keeps raising, we can reach out to you and let you know what action to take. Or if it looks like it's necessary, we can actually schedule a repair before it actually breaks down. That's a cool technology that is incorporated into our products, and really excited about that.
Love it.
Just another reason to buy Samsung.
Well, I have a Samsung washer and dryer. I'm gonna right after this go put my clothes in the dryer. So thank you so much for a working washer dryer. Thanks
Thank
for
you for
doing
being
this.
a customer.
Oh, thank you for keeping my clothes clean. Everybody, you've been tuning into the Modern Customer. Thanks for watching. Until next time. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel or follow me on social media, including Instagram, LinkedIn, X, and more.